Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here to give you my favorite MLB home run predictions for today. We're talking Saturday, April 26th. Happy Saturday, everybody. The Dong Report is back in your life. I'm going to have 4 home run picks for you guys to lock in for today's MLB betting slate. Very, very confident in the 4 plays that I have for today. But of course, before we can get into that, we do have to do a recap from yesterday, which was another tough day. I'm not going to lie. We're in a little bit of a rut here on the Dong Report this week. Basically, starting since Tuesday has been pretty tough. That continued yesterday. Did not get any of our 4 guys to hit a home run. You know, I played it a little bit heavier yesterday, and I paid for it. Brent Rooker, Tyler Soderstrom, Francisco Lindor, Austin Riley. Neither of them hit home runs. Soderstrom and Rooker came close. They both hit absolute rockets. Neither of them left the stadium, left the yard, left the field, whatever I'm looking for. So we were down 1.2 units yesterday. Luckily, the season on the whole has been incredible. 9.61 units of profit if you are following my unit size guiding. If you're just blindly putting 1 unit on every single home run I gave out, you'd be up over 41 units. Obviously, I don't recommend putting 1 unit on home runs, which is why I don't do that. I know some people do, and I just kind of wanted to see, or kind of wanted to show you guys what you would be up if you just said, hey, I don't want to worry about the unit sizing. I'm just going to put 1 unit on everything. The biggest number here is ROI. 33% ROI is very, very good. Now, we were in the 40s basically all week, but this past week has been pretty rough, so down to 33%. Luckily, 33.36% ROI is still very, very good. And the highs and lows of betting home runs, that's going to happen, right? You're going to have days, you know, I've had 3 days this year where I've hit 3 out of 4. I've had a couple days this year where I've hit 2 out of 3, and I've had a bunch of times where I've only gotten 1, but only getting 1 equals profit. Unfortunately, you're going to have days like I've had the past 2 where I don't get any. I'm over 7 on Thursday and Friday. I did get 1 on Wednesday, so it's not like it's been all bad, but you kind of just got to take the ups and downs with home run betting. You know, if you want something a little bit safer without the highs and lows, then maybe switch to total bases or something like that, because there are some guys that I bet that don't hit home runs that'll hit their total bases. But I'm sticking with home runs. I'm still very, very confident, and I'm still very pleased with how the season has gone. It's just these middle rough patches are pretty gross. Regardless, that's enough of that. Let's get into today's bangers. We got some juicy weather games on tap for us today. Unfortunately, they both are expecting rain. Now, between the two, the Coors Field and the Yankee Stadium, Yankees one is more in danger, is the word I'm looking for, of being postponed. The Coors Field one will probably play. That one shouldn't be a problem. But the Yankees game could be postponed. Now, the problem is a lot of times when rain is expected, that makes it a juicy game from a weather perspective because it's humid and the low barometric pressure leads to more carry, which is why you see both of these games as the 2 highest rated games for home runs. Couple gross games we see here, minus 34, minus 24, minus 29, minus 27, and then a minor positive in a couple games as well. But overall, a decent weather game. I do have some plays in these decent weather games as well. Starting with Matt McLain. I'm taking him to hit a home run. When I locked it in, Matt McLain was best offered at plus 400 odds. I believe because they only 2 books had prices. I believe since I sent that out, you can get, so you can actually get plus 425 now at both ESPN Bet and Bet365. So you can actually get a little bit of a better price than what I got. Again, when I sent it out, it was at plus 400. But I was still waiting on books to post odds, and that was, one problem with betting early. If not all the books have prices, you're going to have situations like this. I'm still good with plus 400 if that's what it moves to. By the time you're watching this, obviously plus 425 is better. Regardless, I really, really, really like this play on Matt McLain. He was an MVP. For those of you that stuck with me or that were with me at the beginning of the year, he was an MVP for us at the beginning of the season. He's been a little bit cold recently, or I should say, when he got hurt. Since he came back, he had been cold, except for recently. The last 2 games, he's been really, really good. So we're looking at yesterday's EV logs. This is just on Baseball Savant. And actually, before we get into it, I should have mentioned, this screen here where I'm showing you all these odds and all this stuff, this is Ballpark Pal, and the weather is Ballpark Pal as well. They're an incredible MLB tool. Whether you're looking for home runs or bases or strikeouts or main props, main lines, highly, highly recommend checking out Ballpark Pal. You've already seen kind of how I use them. But I put a link to them in the description of the video. Anyways, so I'm looking at Baseball Savant just to look at EV logs. And Matt McLain had 2 hits yesterday that were both hard hits, which means 95 miles per hour and above exit velocity or higher. And both of them were put in the air as well, which is exactly what you're looking for. He had 107.1 miles per hour off the bat. That traveled 388 feet. He absolutely hit the piss out of that baseball. Just unfortunately was hit to center field, so it was not a home run. Then he had another one that was 96.1 miles per hour, which is, we're hoping for it a little bit harder than that. But 34-degree launch angle was put in the air, 348 feet. So 2 hits that were hard and put in the air is exactly what we're looking for guys to hit home runs. And yeah, it was a rough stretch. Like, he got hurt, so what? He got hurt, missed about 11 days. It had been tough since he had come back. 0-2, 0-1, 1-3, which is bad, 0-0. But his last 2 games, and that's what I want to highlight here. 2 hard hits and 1 barrel in each of his last 2 games. That's exactly what we're looking for. Guys hitting the ball hard, guys putting the ball in the air. And the matchup that he is going up against is as juicy as it gets. He's going up against Antonio Senzatella of the Rockies. Not a good pitcher at all. I mean, you look at his stats across the board. This is against right-handed hitters. 10% barrel rate, bad. 52% hard hit rate, bad. 2.93 home run per 9. Terrible. He's allowed 3 home runs in less than 10 innings pitched against right-handed hitters. That four-seam fastball, that slider get absolutely nuked when Antonio Senzatella pitches it, and that's over 80% of his pitch mix to right-handed hitters. McLain does a good job against the Heat, which is why you see it's an A+ matchup for Matt McLain. This is, according to Ballpark Pal, +10 extreme advantage for McLain, A+ matchup. And the reason why, the release point is average, but that four-seamer is the most important thing here. He's going to see that 60% of the time, A stats against the four-seamer. Now, these two don't have any history against each other, but I really, really like Matt McLain to hit a home run. Again, I send it out to my Tails account at +400. You can now get +425, and that number is obviously better. So go ahead, and I'm going to track what I sent out, which is +400, but you can get a better price. That is play number 1, Matt McLain to hit a home run. Absolutely love that one. Next up, we're heading to the other juicy weather game of the day, and we're taking Ben Rice to hit a home run. When I bet him, he was at +440. That moved down to +430, and I would still take it at +430. It looks like that's still the same price, +430 odds. According to Ballpark Pal, this is a positive expected value play. They have his best odds, his true line, what they price it at, +385. FanDuel's giving it to us at +430. And that's a really good price on FanDuel. Look at every other book, 350, 350, 375, 320, 330. So pretty good from a pricing perspective, pretty good odds here on FanDuel. Again, I set this out to my Tails account, +430. Quarter unit on all these plays today. I should have mentioned that at the top. Quarter unit here, quarter unit on Matt McLain as well. So Ben Rice, the biggest thing for him is the pitching matchup against Kevin Gausman. Gausman, once an ace in his career, has not really been the case the last 2 years, and especially this year. Now, this only leans in favor of Rice as opposed to it being like a huge advantage like we saw with Matt McLain. It's because Rice is a young batter that doesn't have a ton of history. Like you look at the release point, we see a lot of question marks, which is the kind of showing you that Ballpark Pal doesn't have enough data on him to give a lot of grades here. But it's an A on the release point on both sides, so that's good. That's what we're looking for. And then the biggest thing here is the four-seam fastball, which Ben Rice is really good against. The other two are question marks, which is, again, why it's not giving him such a big advantage over Kevin Gausman. But Gausman, at this point in his career, doesn't throw a great fastball. Ben Rice has phenomenal stats against four-seam fastballs. Showing you just a couple numbers here. So I'm looking at DGen Analytics, which is where I'm looking at exit velocity and how many times a batter's hit the ball above 100 miles an hour. Looking at his last 10 games, Ben Rice has hit 11 balls above 100 miles an hour. Now, Judge is leading the Yankees with 14, but 11 in his last 10 games is still really, really good. That's still a number that I'm comfortable with. And you look at Kevin Gausman, as I mentioned, home run per 9 of 1.15 honestly isn't terrible, but the advanced numbers are pretty concerning for him. Number one being this barrel rate. You want it high for batters, and you want it high if you're targeting a pitcher, and that's exactly what we see here with Kevin Gausman, 13.1% barrel rate. That hard hit rate is pretty standard with what it's been in his career. The issue is that barrel rate is up, and you see that launch angle is up as well. So guys are hitting the ball hard at roughly the same rate, but they're putting the ball in the air at a higher rate. So even though his home run per 9 isn't a terrible number, I think that the home runs are going to start to come off of Kevin Gausman. And I want to show you the pitch mix here. So we know that Kevin Gausman throws the four-seam fastball a ton, right? I mean, he throws it like 60% of the time to left-handed hitters. Now I want to go to the Yankees. So we're looking at right-handed pitching, left-handed hitters. Kevin Gausman. This is a website called Game Day Insights, which is where I look for a lot of batter versus pitcher specific pitch mix type of stuff because they give you really advanced numbers. But against lefties, numbers are a little bit worse. 8.51% barrel rate is actually better, but that home run per 9 is worse, 1.48. Line drive plus fly ball rate of about 60% is pretty bad as well. And then the four-seam fastball, like I said, throws it like 60% of the time. Both his home runs to lefties have come off of it. And Ben Rice has phenomenal numbers against the four-seamer from right-handed pitching. Only one home run, but a 20% barrel rate, a 60% hard hit rate, and a 40% fly ball rate. Now, he strikes out a lot. That's fine. If you're swinging for the fences, yeah, you're going to strike out a lot. But if you hit the ball hard as well, that's exactly what we're looking for. You look at some of these EV logs, 105.1, 106, 107, 102.5, 108.8, just hitting the ball really, really hard against four-seam fastballs from righties, which is what he's going to see almost 60% of the time. So I really like Ben Rice to hit a home run. Again, that's plus 430 odds at FanDuel. Play number 3, I'm going with another guy that's hitting just the piss out of the baseball. That would be one Oneil Cruz. I'm taking him to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 440 at FanDuel. Pretty decent price from a pretty decent price if you are comparing it to the other sports books as well. 365 is close, or sorry, ESPN Bet is close at 425, but then we see most of them in the 300s, 350, 360, 380, 375, all that stuff. Oneil Cruz is on fire at the plate. I mean, the guy is just destroying baseballs. Now, he did not hit a home run yesterday, but look at what he did to the baseball yesterday. He had literally the 2 hardest hits of the entire game, and 117.6 miles per hour off the bat is ridiculous. That is insane. That EV log is just ridiculous. And then, 109.8. Now, neither of these had the launch angle to clear fence, right? 12, 8. It's a pretty good pitching matchup. And you look at who he did this against. Yamamoto, he hit it 117 miles an hour against Yamamoto is very impressive. And then the other one was off the bullpen. But doing that off of Yamamoto, that's pretty good. And then you look at DJ Analytics, which is, again, where I'm showing you EV logs. I'm showing you the entire MLB, and I'm showing you the last 3 games. Look how many times Oneil Cruz has hit the baseball above 100 miles an hour in his last 3 games. 9 times. 9. 3 times per game over the last 3 games is ridiculous. 4 piss missiles, which is 100 miles an hour off the bat between a 20 and 40 degree launch angle. That fly ball rate of 33% is actually pretty good, considering he's normally like the Jaron Duran at, you see like 10%, the JT Realmuto you see at 9%. That's normally where Oneil Cruz is. Him at 33% is actually very good. And you go to his game logs. I mean, you look at his last couple games. 2 hard hits, 1 barrel. 4 hard hits, 2 barrels. 4 hard hits, 1 barrel. A couple games ago, 2 barrels. It's insane what this guy's doing to the baseball. And the pitcher is going up against Roki Sasaki. He's not a terrible pitcher. He's young. He's still kind of figuring it out in the MLB. He's definitely not somebody to be scared of. I mean, you look at his numbers against lefties, is not anything that is that concerning for our perspective, right? Like barrel rate of 9% is not good. Hard hit rate of 48% is not good. Fly ball plus line drive rate of 60% is not good. Yeah, he's kind of like Gausman, where he hasn't allowed a ton of home runs, only 1 home run to righties. But when you throw that four-seamer over 50% of the time, and it's not that highly rated of a four-seamer, according to Ballpark Pal, like they rate it a, I guess it's they don't have enough data on it. What I do know is that Oneil Cruz is an A+ against four-seam fastballs from righties. So that part is good for us. This is a decent matchup for Oneil Cruz as well. It's, I think, a +8. Yeah, so it's not quite a +10. A lot of that is because there's just not enough data on Roy Sasaki to give an accurate grade, which is why you see a lot of question marks and stuff. All his pitches are considered question marks. But you go to his stuff plus, according to Fangraphs, which does exactly what it sounds like. It measures his stuff. It gives a grade based on rotation, based on movement, based on velocity, all that stuff. His fastball is rated 79. 100 is average. 79 is disgustingly bad. So Oneil Cruz is going to hit one to the moon tonight. It's one of the rare games that's green for weather. That's positive. We already talked about the 2 green games. This one is positive, +2%. Not amazing, but hey, it's at least positive. Wind blowing out to left to right field is going to help a lefty like Oneil Cruz. So I absolutely love this one. I love Oneil Cruz to hit a home run +440 at FanDuel. And now our fourth and final pick of the video, and then I'll go through some leans, is Wyatt Langford to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 550 odds at DraftKings. So I mistakenly put 1 unit here. This should be for a quarter unit. I corrected myself after that. So Wyatt Langford, a quarter unit on all 4 of these plays. So we're only risking 1 unit today, which is when you take a step back, like you can stomach having bad days when you're risking a unit total. But plus 550 is a really good price on DraftKings. FanDuel has this one all the way down at plus 430. I like finding situations. Obviously, I don't blindly bet these, but I like finding situations where FanDuel is so far off the market, because FanDuel theoretically should always have the best odds for us for home runs. Like, they should always have the highest odds, because if a player doesn't start but they pinch hit, every other book voids it except for FanDuel. So situations like this, where FanDuel is really high on a guy to hit a home run compared to the other books, I generally try to look at that. Again, obviously, the other 3 bets were all on FanDuel. So that's not me saying that I solely do that, but it is kind of something that I look at and think is important. Now, Wyatt Langford, this guy's on fire. Now, to get the negative out of the way first, it's a gross weather game. It's minus 24%. It's a little bit cold in San Francisco. In general, Oracle Park is a pitcher's ballpark. So this is the one time where I'm sacrificing from a weather perspective and taking a guy in a gross weather game. I try to not do that, but in certain situations I will, and I'm willing to do so in this one. So Wyatt Langford, I'm looking at his game logs here. He has been on fire at the plate as well. So he missed a couple games. He missed about 2 weeks right here. Came back on 420. Very cool. He probably did that on purpose. So his first game back, he didn't do much at the plate, right? 0 hard hits, 0 barrels. After that, his last 4 games, 2 hard hits, 1 barrel. Only 1 hard hit, 1 barrel. 2 hard hits, 0 barrels. 2 hard hits, 2 barrels. That's phenomenal in his last 4 games. And you look at what he did yesterday. You already saw that he had 2 barrels, so you know that he hit the ball hard. But just to show you exactly what he did, he had 2 hits, 106.2 miles per hour off the bat, 108.1 miles per hour off the bat. This one only had an 18-degree launch angle, so it was never going to be close to a home run. This one had a 22-degree launch angle, traveled 390 feet. When you hit a ball 390 feet, I promise you can hit a home run. I guarantee you that. Some guys hit a home run with shorter feet than that. He just happened to hit it to center field. He didn't pull it, so it wasn't a home run. But he's been destroying baseballs. And he's going up against a pitcher who is a lefty, and Wyatt Langford is awesome against lefties. And the pitcher stinks, as I'm sure you could guess. He's going up against Robbie Ray of the Giants. He's a lefty going up against righties. His stats against righties are bad. Home run per 9 of 2 is bad. Barrel rate, 10.45% is bad. The line drive plus fly ball rate isn't a terrible number, but you see he's allowed 4 home runs to righties this year. Every 16 at-bats is bad. 3 home runs coming off of his 4-seam fastball. And you look at guys on the Rangers. Who just look at who has the best numbers against lefties in general. I'm looking at this entire year. Look who has the best numbers against lefties. That would be Wyatt Langford, 21% barrel rate. That 41% hard hit rate isn't amazing, but that 33% fly ball rate is very good. And guess who has the best numbers against 4-seam fastballs from lefties? Both of Wyatt Langford's home runs against lefties came off of the 4-seamer. 33% barrel rate is phenomenal. Now, again, that hard hit rate, we're hoping for it to be a little bit higher. But when every time you hit the ball hard, you're putting it in the air, yeah, then we're good. Like, I can accept that. You can accept a lower hard hit rate if the fly ball rate is higher, because obviously to hit home runs, you need to put the ball in the air. So Wyatt Langford to hit a home run, my 4th pick and final pick of the video. I got about a minute left. I try to keep these under 20 minutes, so I'll give you some leans real quick. I got to mention this guy, Jordan Beck. What he's been doing recently is insane. I think he has 5 home runs in his last 3 games. The books are starting to catch up at plus 500. It's a really good matchup from a weather perspective, but he's going up against Hunter Green. And Hunter Green is very, very, very good. Hunter Green is an awesome pitcher. Jordan Beck's been great, but I figured I'd rather target pitchers that weren't Hunter Green. In terms of the Mets game, there's a lot of guys that are highly rated: Lindor, Soto, Vientos. If I was to bet a guy on the Mets, it would either be Soto or Mark Vientos. This guy, Lord, I forget his first name. I think it's Brad. He's actually been really good. Like, he hasn't given up a ton of hard hits, and he hasn't allowed guys to really put the ball in the air. So I held off on that game. Another guy who I considered on the Reds was Austin Hayes. He's been doing a pretty good job hitting the ball hard. It is a plus EV play, according to Ballpark Pal, plus 435. is what their true line is. Plus 470 is what FanDuel has it at. So pretty decent price there. But that's all we got. 4 official bangers for you guys to lock in. If all 4 hit a home run, that would be amazing. We would profit real quick if you let me let my spreadsheet here do the math. We'd profit 4.5 units if all 4 guys hit a home run. We're only risking the unit, so that's a pretty good ROI. Appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe. Check out Ballpark Pal if you want the best MLB tool on the market. Put a link there in the video description and the pinned comment. Put a link to my Tails account, which is where you can see I send all my plays out. $10 a month to get you everything I'm playing. It's the same plays that I give out for free on YouTube and Twitter. You just get them first on Tails. And that's all we got. I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Bet responsibly, blah, blah, blah. And have a good one.